Here.
All right, so before we begin and I start grilling you, I
Ooh.
want to talk about something real quick because everyone's having mixed, they're on opposite sides for it. So Kyrie Irving from the Brooklyn Nets, he is now being benched until he gets his COVID vaccine. And he can
Mm.
no longer play. Every game is a whole bunch of money out of his pocket.
I One, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really watch basketball, but just the fact of that they're benching him for not taking a vaccine
And personally, because,
is kind of crazy. I think enforcing that on people, I think that's just kind of crazy. I think everybody should have the freedom of right to be able to take it, or if they want to take it. If they don't want to take it, they shouldn't be have to be forced to take it. You know what I'm saying? So that's it's kind of a touchy subject. So it's kind of I'm not with the forcing. I'm with the if you feel like you want to take the shot, take the shot. But if somebody's saying like, "Oh, you got to do this in order to provide for your family," that's
pro choice.
yeah, that's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Have you caught COVID?
Yes, yes. 3 weeks ago, um, I was, I've been going through the COVID, the whole thing, like not really wearing a mask. I was taking vitamins on a regular. I think at the end, it's almost got to the point where I started slipping and not taking the medicine that I was taking.
You get comfortable.
Yeah, I got real comfortable because I'm like, all right, I miss a day, I'll be good. Oh, okay, I missed 2 days, I'm straight. And I think that's what my immune system dropped a little bit. And I ended up catching COVID pneumonia.
Wow.
So I'm going to tell y'all right now, that is like the scariest thing to catch because I'm already a big dude. So I know what it is to like run up a flight of stairs and you lose your breath. But just to get up off your bed and you can't breathe properly, like
Yeah.
I'm like, my breathing almost looked like a fish. They just come out of water, just gasping for air. Yeah, my wife, she
Shout out to wife.
because I was once I found out I had this is the crazy. Let me tell you the crazy part how I found out I had COVID. Um, I'm taking a shower. As I'm taking a shower, I'm like, something ain't right. Like I was like, something ain't right. Like something's off. And I'm like, it didn't catch up till after I took the shower. I looked at the soap. I'm like, damn, why could? Because every time I take a shower, the best thing about the shower is smelling the soap.
Yeah.
The Irish Spring. I just, it's just a Mexican thing, I guess. But so I like to smell of Irish Spring under the hot water, like just get good smell. So I'm smelling a bar of soap, and I'm like, yo, I can't smell this shit. I'm like, this shit must be defective. You know what I'm saying? Like this soap is defective. This got to go back. And I looked at it. I'm like, nah. I took a big ass bite out of the soap.
What?
I said, how? I'm like, I didn't even taste it. I'm like, oh, I got COVID, man. Oh, I got COVID. I done hit the wife. I'm like, babe. She's like, what? I bit the soap. I ain't taste it. I can't smell it. She's like, nuh-uh. I said, yeah, I got COVID. She said, yo, take your butt downstairs. So I went to the room downstairs. Because, I got 2 rooms downstairs. So it's like away from the family. So they stay on the upper part. And I went downstairs. And mind you, it's hot. The day's hot and everything. Like the next day, I'm in the base. I mean, not the basement, but the lower level of the house, and it's like I call her FaceTime, like, "Yo, bro, turn the AC off. It's like it's blowing down here." She was like, "The AC's not on."
Oh, you were getting.
Yeah, so I was shaking with the chills. My teeth were
And this
chattering.
was within the same day, right?
Not within like 2 days after
Oh,
the after the. So I went downstairs. The first day I was like, all right. The second day is when I started catching the chills. So now I said, bring me 2 comforters, bring me a hoodie, some sweats. So I'm downstairs covered in a hoodie with the 2 comforters, and I'm still dying and chilling. 2, 3 hours later, I'm sweating. Took everything off. So yeah, it was like I was going back and forth from chills to heat, to chills to sweats. The third day, the wife is like, "Yo, you're not breathing right." I'm like, I was just coughing. So I'm like, so on Thursday is like, I'm taking you to the hospital. I'm gonna be honest. Everybody I know that caught COVID that went to the hospital didn't come out of the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody I knew personally that was like, they ended up in the hospital. 3 days later on Facebook, RIP, COVID took them out. Like, I'm talking about everybody I knew. So my fear was to go into the hospital and they say, yo, hold up. My wife took me. She forced me to go. I went into the emergency room. People were sitting there for hours. I don't know if it was my insurance or the way my lungs looked, but when they did the x-ray, when I walked in, they said it looked like I smoked 1,000 packs of cigarettes a day because all my lungs was cloudy. So they was like, oh, you got pneumonia and COVID. Damn. You ain't going nowhere. So they put me like in this glass room, and then doctors coming in with...
It's a glass room, like a fishbowl kind of? Like an aquarium almost?
Nah, it's you know how you go to the zoo and you look through a glass and it's like room after room after room?
Like an X-Men in your room?
Yeah, it was one of those, yeah. So it was like...
Crazy.
They came in there with all these crazy masks on, and I was like, yo. The doctor was like, yo, you're not light, you're not severe, but you in the middle. So you tapping toes on the moderate severe side.
Your COVID was so severe, but you still don't think they should enforce the vaccine?
I don't think anything in general. I don't think nobody should ever force nothing on nobody. Yeah. It's just America is a place of freedom. You feel me? Even though
except Texas.
I mean, yeah, except that, but everything else is like you should be able to, if you're an adult, you should be able to say, I want that or I don't want that.
Yes.
Whether it kills you or don't, because it's like the same, you might as well say the same thing about how people eat. Like, yo, you're going to eat, you're going to die, you're going to get cholesterol. Like, I'm going to force vegan food on you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't think that should be the way it, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, but, it's just, that's my opinion. I don't think people should be forced to do anything.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we are glad that you are here with us today, alive and well. So, fuck COVID.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm here with y'all because I didn't think I was going to make it. I'm going to keep it 100 with you.
I'm about to go in a little deeper. We will come back right after this music break. Are you ready, Munchies?
Oh, you about to go in deep?
Yeah.
Pause.
No, dude. Let's get it. You are listening to Rollin Pretty on B100 Radio, and we are back here with Munchies El Jefe.
Yep.
All right, so, senor, you are 44K on IG, 31K on TikTok. You are 1,500 fans on Facebook. You're getting up there. Mm. But where are you from originally?
Country or state?
Whichever one you feel like.
Jersey.
Well, that was fast.
I'm from Jersey. I'm like a Jersey native. I mean, when I was younger, when we crossed the border, I was in Cali for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And then we moved to Jersey.
You feel like Jersey's your home here versus like...
Yeah. I mean, I spent a lot of time in Cali, but it's more like my going through my teen years into my adulthood, it was Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Even in the beginning, yes.
You give me Idaho vibes.
No, I don't peel.
I'm just kidding.
I'm not the one. You're.
That's real Jersey over there.
Yeah, it was good. You already know. Yo, say that.
So, did you start as a stand-up comedian when you first started your journey, your career?
As a kid, I always was into like heavy like TV, like Chespirito is like it's a Mexican TV show that I'm like. As a kid, I used to love, and I was amazed about how this actor took on these different roles and made you believe he was that person when he dressed up. So he's like the Mexican version of Tyler Perry, but he's way before Tyler Perry. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that was like one of the things. It's like I always knew I wanted to be an actor. The comedic side comes from my mother, because my mother was one of those people like the Mexicans that she would like be at the table and all my supposedly uncles and aunts and like how the Mexican thing go, like they would sit around the table. My mom would get just drunk and she'll start telling stories and everybody be cracking up because they want to hear her just tell some stories. You know what I'm saying? So I seen her doing that as I grew up, but I became a comedian by accident. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like I never thought of wanting to be a comedian.
What kind of accident was this?
Well, it's almost like because I was working at a barbershop. I just came home. I did a bid. And I was like, all right, I'm trying to go straight. So I said, my peoples put me on. I was like, yo, cut hair, you make good money. So I started cutting hair. And, at the barbershop, I was like only Mexican in the hood. So let me just get to that first so y'all can understand why I'm where I'm at. Like I'm from Orange, New Jersey, so I grew up in Orange. When I was growing up, around my time, when you told them they was Mexican, they're like, "What part of Puerto Rico that is?" Because they don't know what Mexicans were.
Oh,
So
that kind of okay.
yeah, because I was like the only Hispanic on my block. They was like the Puerto Ricans was down the hill, and I was like the only Mexican in the hood. So it's like I grew up around all black community. So my vibe comes from my environment. You feel me? So I grew up around this. So this is what I learned. This is what I had to learn to survive. Because being the oddball, like I got picked on, I got messed with.
Aww.
So it's either you had to learn how to clown them or know how to fight. So I learned both. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn how to throw them hands. So like I said, I ended up cutting hair. So I was always that one dude that like I've been clowned on so much, like I knew how to clown back. So in the barbershop, we would do something called fishing.
What is that?
So barbers, we be fishing. So it's like me and another barber that's funny as hell. We would crack jokes. We would try to crack jokes to get people comfortable so they can get involved in the cracking so that we could just go ahead and roast them and they wouldn't be mad. You know what I'm saying?
So you were
like
fishing for victims to roast.
Exactly, yeah. So we did that, fishing for victims to roast. But
you are a bully.
There's this one guy that came in. I ain't seen him in a minute. He lost his leg due to a motorcycle accident.
Oh man.
So we was fishing on somebody else and he wanted to be a part of the joke. So I was like, yo, my man, just go ahead, drop your kickstand and park over there in the corner somewhere. So he got mad as hell because everybody started laughing, but I wasn't really trying to clown on him. And then he was like, oh, you think you funny, mister? Every time I come in here, da-da-da. You so funny, won't you come, clown on my comedian? I'm like, whatever, bro. Like, yo, I got $300 on it that you can't out. I was like, oh, Big P, you gonna let him talk to you like that? I was like, come on, bro. Like, you don't want to do that. He put the money on thing. He's like, yo, and I get you a bottle if you think you that funny. So I was like, all right. They came. He came back to the shop. It was like, yo, you coming out, right? So I was like.
And that was your first comedy show?
My first. And listen, it was a packed house.
Wow, that was like some 8 Mile shit. Like you.
I've never done comedy. I've never done stand-up.
Crazy.
I've never, besides the barbershop, I've never been on front of a stage.
Your first time was almost a challenge.
Yeah, so it was like a dare.
Challenged by this peg leg man.
But mind you, it wasn't. Oh God, it wasn't him. I was clowning. It was his comedian. So it's like
comedian, right.
So I go to the show. Mind you, people were talking about it at the barbershop, and I've been there for like almost 2-3 years, and majority of the customers came, and it was 15 barbers, so all the barbers came out. So we went there like 30 deep. Damn. So we went there deep.
Pressure.
Yeah. And we drinking. I'm drinking Henny because when I walked in, first of all, the comedy club was across the street from a cemetery.
Okay.
So like I guess if you bombed, they just toss your ass over the damn cemetery, buried you right then and there. Like you know what I'm saying? But when I walked in, it was like at least 200 something people. I got nervous. I was like, oh.
I was this ain't. You're really like. Yeah.
Yeah, it was hosted by Jefe Justins, who was a known comic and a known actor on BT and all that. I didn't know who he was. They brought me up there. We started clowning back and forth, but I went and got fresh gear because I'm like, yo, I'm not getting ripped on. I'm gonna come in brand new sneakers, gauze. I had a whole outfit. Smart. Yeah, I was like, only jokes you got are the fat jokes, and I'm gonna eat those up and come at you sideways. So
yeah, for real.
So we were going back and forth. Everybody clapped. Everybody thought I was a comedian. The host thought I was a comedian. The comedians thought I was a comedian. And the people thought I was a comedian. To the point where people were paying to take pictures. You know how they got the cameraman back in the day. Like he'd snap you a picture, give you a little Polaroid joint. And I was like, yo.
They used to do that in the clubs?
Yeah, I'm older than you, man. You don't know about that.
That's so cool.
You grew up with an Android. You wouldn't know about that. So and that's how the dude's like, how long you been doing comedy? I never done it. I got my 300 from Homeboy. Right? I got my 300.
Very first comedy show by accident got you $300.
300, the bottle of Henny. Right? And it wasn't like comedy. I was just cracking jokes. I wasn't.
You were just roasting.
Yeah, I was just roasting.
But people, that to me, honestly, I watch roasts when I watch comedy. Like I love balling out roasts. I find that funny. Always.
Yeah, as long
as it's not me.
I got to be in a comfortable space to do that. So it's like, the barbershop was the spot because you're talking to people you know, and then people just coming in. I can't just hop in the spot and be like, I'm going to start roasting you. Like, you got to give me initiative to come at you. You know what I'm saying? So, but that was never really. Now, as a comedian that I know the art is really a comedian is a person that can bring you into their world.
Yes.
So if you go to a comedy show and somebody's cracking jokes, he's a comic. That's a joke. He's just cracking jokes. A comedian is a person that can tell a story of their life that you find like, oh, I can relate to this person. Oh, this is funny. Oh, damn, you know what? I feel the same way. So I had to learn, understand, and grow into that space because, a lot, like I said, I was doing a lot of cracking jokes. I was just talking, but then I got to the point where like, all right, let me tell my life story. Let me tell them how I got into this country. And a lot of people to this day did not really believe that I came here illegally. Like a lot of people don't know that I got deported 4 years ago and I had to fight for my life to come back into the country. So, you know what I'm saying? So it was just a lot of things. You know what I mean?
That's a lot.
Yeah, I got a lot.
So you started off, and this was all, you were still in Jersey.
Yeah, all this is in Jersey. Yeah, like my comedic career started in Jersey.
So when did you move to Atlanta, and what made you want to come here?
I wanted to change. I wanted to change my surroundings. I'm a person that I like to move a lot. I like to go to different places. I don't like being stuck somewhere. I've been in Jersey majority of my life. My wife was tired of Jersey as well. She wanted to go somewhere warmer, but I was like, you know what? We were thinking of South Carolina, but I was like, no, I want to go to Atlanta. I want to go to Atlanta.
Yeah, we're cooler.
Yeah, and it's not only that. It's just like 5-6 years ago, I was watching how Atlanta is going to be a booming place. Atlanta is going to boom. I seen that before it even happened. Like, it's going to boom, and I said it was going to boom for acting. I was like,
you called it.
Yeah, I was like, I seen it. This is before Tyler Perry with the studios, before anybody talked about doing stuff. I know people were filming down here, but I was like, Atlanta's going to boom as far as actors, and that's really what my passion is really acting. I like to act. So as an actor, that's what I like to do. But love doing the comedy skits, love doing stand-ups. I love all of it. So it all just goes in as one whole pie. You know what I'm saying? It's all the ingredients to be a funny, successful comic/actor.
And in being a minority, being Mexican, do you feel like there's been times where that's like hindered your career or it's helped you?
Yeah.
Especially growing up in different environments where you are the only one.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, it did, but it didn't stop me from like putting my foot on their neck. Like it never stopped me at all because I seen like a lot of like when I came to Atlanta, nobody would allow me to get on stage.
Really?
Like that's one thing I didn't like about down here. So it's like in Jersey, New York, if you're doing a comedy show, it's an open mic, and they have comics there. You write your name on the list, they respect the list. Down here, oh yeah, I got there. The show starts at 9. I'm here at 7:30. I want to put my name on first because this is just me. I'm always about time as well, so I want to be there before everybody. Like I'm one of those people. Like I open up and kill, I close and kill. It don't matter. I'm very confident with my because I've been doing it so long. So I done been to places where I done wrote my name down, and then here comes somebody that got a little pull, and it's like they got 3-4 other people with them, and they all go on stage, and I'm like, oh, you got to come back tomorrow. I'm like, damn. And I did that for like 2 weeks, and I told my wife, I said, you know what?
Atlanta do better.
Yeah, like, and I'm not gonna say all comedy clubs do that.
Yeah.
It was just the ones that were at the time was popping when I came down here. So it's like what I did was because like a lot of people don't know either. I'm an aircraft engineer, so I build airplanes for a living. So I took my hard-earned money, and in Fayetteville, because a lot of people complain that from the South Side for them to drive to Atlanta, it's the traffic plus an hour to get to the theaters to watch comedy. So I went and rented out a spot and hired the funniest comic and brought them down, and I had them open up for me. They didn't know they would open up for me. Oh. But I had them open up, and I headlined. They was like, who the hell are you? Damn, bro, you funny. Oh, yo, bro, come out to this. And that's how I did. So I paid to get into the scene of Atlanta.
Uber smart business move. I hope everybody's taking notes.
You got to spend money to get in anywhere.
You really do got to spend money to get money. And I think that's a hard lesson because everyone's scared. So you made the jump.
Yeah, I'm from Jersey. We like money's going to open the door. Whether it's $50 or $100, somebody going to be like, let me get that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I always had that mentality.
So with that, so at one point in your career, did you realize like things were changing for you and you were able to branch out?
When I got back from my deportation issue,
The first deportation?
Yeah. When I got deported 3-4 years ago, I came back. Everything that I tried to do before when I was getting deported, like I auditioned for a lot of stuff. I'm like, yo, you funny, but not right now. No. I even lost situations like I was scheduled to do a comedy show in Santo Domingo, Punta, and I couldn't go because I didn't have a green card, so I didn't know how to tell these people. So I kind of lied and said I was on parole, and they was like, "Okay, bro, you're not really serious about this comedy." So I kind of lost a lot of people around the way, but a lot of people now that know the story, they was like, "Bro, you should have just told us. You can't
Yeah,
just."
you should have.
No,
Well, I guess
what?
that's such a private matter at the same
Yeah, you
time.
said
I
you
would have lied
illegal.
too.
Somebody hate on you like, oh, yo, I know my man be driving. He ain't got a green card. You get pulled over. You
Yeah, I would
done
have
though.
lied too. They can't have
Yeah.
me.
So like but as soon as I came back, everything I auditioned for, I got.
So
Like I was on Telemundo, Univision, Fox.
Oh, what
I'm
shows?
about
Tell us.
Caso Cerrado.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Personal injury court. I did
What did you injure?
am I supposed to be talking about that? I'm not supposed to talk about that.
Nondisclosures. Next topic.
All right, well then, and then,
show.
oh yeah, it's past a year. Yes, I can say that. Yeah, it is a year. So that personal injury court, and then I'm doing something else that we already got picked for ABC coming up in October, November. Yeah.
And can you tell us?
I can't tell y'all. No, because it ain't happened. I can't speak on it. I can't talk on it.
Okay.
No face, no case. You heard?
You are now tuned into Rollin' Pretty with Mango Kush, and I have my guest here, Munchies.
Yeah.
And if you were tuned in before, we have been asking him some questions about his life, the industry, being a comedian, and now we're going to continue this train. So you spoke about your first show, which was an awesome story, actually, like especially for a starter story. That's usually how legends start, so that's good. It's a good sign. Have you ever had hecklers during your shows?
My second show.
How do you deal with that? Because I think I'd probably fist fight.
I messed up though because I got too comfortable.
Oh.
Because I killed the first one. The second show was with Wendy Williams when she was hosting Times Square Comedy. This is when she had a radio station before she was off the air or whatever. I went up there and I dropped the M-bomb. So being caught up in my where I'm from, like I got too comfortable with the stage and I dropped the N-word. And the lady lost it. So everything got quiet. The lady lost it. She started saying, "Oh, we allowing Hispanics come in here, drop the N-word, da da da."
Oh, well, like the lady that was actually.
Yeah, that was in the audience. I did good. It went from here, then it dropped. So I'm like, all right. So what I messed up was the fact that I started engaging with her, and it got worse and worse.
Sorry.
Because I was like, yo, chill out. Like I'm doing my job. Like
you guys went back and forth.
I was like, I'm doing my job. I don't come to McDonald's and mess with you. Like, so it just got worse.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was like I was being disrespectful. So it's like, talent came on stage, and he was like, bro, I understand what you're doing, but it's like,
are people booing?
Nah, it just got quiet. That's worse than booing.
I'd rather
get booed. I'd rather get booed.
At least you can't hear what's going on.
I want them to be like, boo. When they get quiet, that's the worst.
Oh my God, you have me stumbling my words right now. I couldn't even talk for a second.
If they get quiet on you, bro, it's a wrap. But the good thing was, what helped me out was the talent was like, hey, y'all can clearly hear from his lingo, he one of us. So that's what helped me.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you hear him how he speak, he a product of the environment. So it's like, you can't be hard on him, but he was trying to tell a joke. Matter of fact, yo, my man, you did your thing. This is your first time on a real stage. That's what he said. And he still, kind of threw at me because he had to. As a host, you always got to, you know what I'm saying? If a comedian do bad, you got to make him understand. He got to learn his lesson. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm just thankful for him. Like, even teaching me after that was like, yo, bro, like, I get it. Like, I know this is what you are when you in the hood, but you on stage to tell your story, but understand is not the same thing as speaking to your homies on the block. So I had to understand that. I was like, oh, all right. Because remember, where I performed that was my neighborhood.
Yeah, it's different.
So people knew me, so I was just wilding, and everybody like, hey, yo, you funny as hell. Like, I went to Times Square Comedy, You got all faces, Asian, white, black, Russian. There's just a lot of different people in these rooms. And it's like, they might not understand and gravitate to where you come from. You know what I'm saying? So they might look at you like, okay, that was disrespectful. So I learned that day I learned my lesson. I was like, I would never ever do that again.
Different audiences to learn.
Exactly.
So is every show, do you feel like you have a different style of audience, or is it just by like cities where you're like, all right, this city is this kind of people. This city I gotta switch up a little bit. But do you feel like you tweak your humor based on where you're at?
Of course, yeah. And any smart comedian would actually, you would have to do your research wherever you're going. Like,
I think a lot of people don't actually do that though, because I see so many like.
But they not real. They not true to me. Yeah. And you know, if y'all feel disrespected, I really don't give a damn. As a true comedian, a comedian has to do a research about the topic that he's speaking on, because you're gonna go out there looking like an idiot. So you want to make sure you do your research and find the funny in your research. Where if anybody they can't come and tell you, oh, that's not true. That's not how. You got to spit facts, and you got to spit them in a funny way. So a real comic will do their research before they move. And if they don't, they're not going to never evolve.
Yeah.
They're always going to stay stagnant where they're at. They're going to keep doing them $100 shows at the bars. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of them out there, though. But, hey, to each their own.
Hopefully they learn. So would you say that was, like, your lowest point in your comedic career?
That was it. After that, I probably had one other bad show my wife went to. I got real drunk. I got real lit. I was like, yo, we got a bottle for you. I said, a bottle? What? I was like, I'm going up first. Like, nah, you going to go up third. I was like, all right. Click, 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 click. Hey, yo, nah, we going to push you back to fifth. I was like, what? All right. Click, 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 click.
It was a setup.
Yo, my man, you going to headline. I said, man, the bottle gone. I went on stage. I was like, hey, look. My mama, what? Hey, whose show is it? Bro, I was done.
Oh, no.
I was done. So wife, look, yo, the wife all the way home. She in the back seat. I'm in the front seat. My wife in the back seat poking my head. Don't ever embarrass me ever again like that. How long you been doing comedy? I said, babe, but I killed hell. But you died tonight. Oh, no. You, it's not even you. You made me look bad. I didn't even want to clap. You know what I'm saying? I had my personal board going to the car. Boo, you whack. We need a divorce. It's like, how you funny in the car, but not funny on stage?
You got booed in your own home. It's okay. It's a lesson learned.
And what happened was, I was sitting next to my wife, so she was like, So when they said, hey, yo, my man, yo, you got the private room, I said, all right, I'm going to holler at you later, but it's only for comedians. I went in the back and I just... So that's basically two. That's it. Out of my 10, 11 year stretch, 2 bad shows. And
that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, 2 bad shows. It was just one of those moments. And I think that was like right when I had to, like, right before I was getting deported. So I was going through my moments of like depression.
Drinking.
Yeah, like if I drank and it hit, made me feel good. I'm like, all right, it made me forget about that. So let me keep on going. So but I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink.
It's okay. We're human. Sometimes we have forms of escapism when we are sad. Stop looking at me like that. So what would you say is your highest point so far? Because there's so many more to come in your career.
The highest point was when I did, besides the TV stuff, I already accomplished that. Like, all right, my next thing is to be in a movie, which I'm actually working on at the moment.
Can you let us know anything about the movie?
The movie's gonna be known with some famous Asian actors.
Really?
Yeah, it's like known. Like y'all done seen them in a lot of
where can
fighting flicks.
What network could they find it?
I'm not even gonna say what it is, but it's like, yeah. So we working on that. I'm also working when I right the month before I got deported, I drove down to Miami with my wife and my 4 kids in a 4-door car to perform for the iHeartRadio in front of people. And for not being from Florida, they was like, yo, you came down here and
Florida people are vicious people.
Nah, but they's like, yo, you killed it, bro. Yeah. You killed it. Your comedy's funny. And it was an all-white crowd. Ooh, all white.
How was that?
It was good because I did it clean. A lot of people.
That's more of a clean comedy.
Yeah, but I did my same story. I just did it clean.
Oh. Oh,
So
the
right then and
censored
there,
version.
I cleaned it up right then. Like I didn't rehearse nothing. When I got there, and because it's like you can't rehearse what you don't know what you're going to go into. So it's like when I got there, I looked. It's like that's why I like to get everywhere early. I like to be there
Oh yeah, you
2-3
are an
hours
early
before time.
person.
I go in the spot. I look at the location. I'm watching the owners. I'm watching this. I'm watching the people walking the door. He's a working class. You could tell he a thug, and I could tell this. So it's like, all right. And when I notice, it's like if there's more women in the room, I'm catering to the women. This is not for y'all. Y'all fools are here taking them on a date. The comedy is for the women tonight. If it's the men there, I'm catering to the men. So it's like, as a comedian, like I said, I'm a very good observer. So I'm very good at reading body language and all that other crazy stuff. So it's like I can automatically walk in somewhere and I'm like, okay, you act like you phony.
What does my body language say right now?
You got the munchies.
This doesn't count because I'm always hungry.
All I heard was, what do you think I want to eat? I didn't hear nothing else but that.
Well, whatever. Anyways, so so when you first started and you spoke about your mom, has your family always supported your dreams?
No.
Oh, elaborate.
Told mom I was going to do comedy. She was like, what, you a clown? I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to cut hair. She's like, only certain people cut hair. And I'm like, what you mean? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn.
What does that mean?
Certain people cut hair. Read between
I don't know. I'm offended. I don't cut hair, but should I be offended?
But it was just always my mom. It was, you know what it was? I think it was like, I think she instilled that in me to see if I was one. I think she knew that when people told me I can't do it, I always wanted to do it. Because now that I'm older, I can see that. I guess like, because now she don't tell me the same thing.
She supports you.
And now it's like, oh, mijo, you're gonna get there, mijo.
Oh.
Mijo,
no, like no, mom, keep the same energy you did like 20 years ago.
Yeah, because once I get it, you ain't getting a damn thing. Nah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, like even though my, at 12 years old, I grew up in the streets. I didn't grow up at home. So at 12 years old, I was.
Would you say your childhood was more rough?
Yeah, like I done slept in parks, on benches. I done slept one time on top of some dryers. Because it was like, because of what was going on at home, and that's something I don't really want to talk too much about, but because of the home was like mostly alcohol. I wanted to escape that. I didn't want to be there. So it was always that. So as me, escaping from it, it's like either you stay here, deal with it, and I ran away. So it's like, at one point my siblings was like, oh, you left us. I was like, I got kicked out, big dog. Like, it is what it is. Because I was being a knucklehead. So I basically grew up in the streets after 12, 13 years old. Like from there, whatever I learned on the block. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really grow up. Oh, okay, 18 years old, get out that. Nah, it was never like that. It was like, you want to act a fool? Because that's what happens back home too.
Yeah.
In Mexico, it's like, oh, you old enough to talk back. You old enough to work. Get up out of here. Like, get up out of here. And then they really do that. You really see these little kids when you go to Mexico, they're like 10, 11, shining shoes and doing whatever they got to do.
Actually, I feel like that's a good thing, personally. I feel like when like a kid is bad, like put him to work. I'll be like, you want to talk crazy? You can come lay tile with me.
Yeah, no, and I'm going to be honest. I think that's why my people are the way they are. And it's not even my people. It's just anybody that's an immigrant, anybody that's out this country.
Shout out to the immigrants.
Yeah, shout out to the immigrants. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to anybody that's foreign. You know what I'm saying? That people like, because you got to understand, I looked at everybody that was born here that never wanted to do nothing with themselves. And I'm like, bro, I'm sitting here begging and crying and dying for that little piece of social security number you got for free.
Yeah.
Like, I'm dying to get my hands on that. And you got like, oh, you know what? I'm about to go on welfare. I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. I don't want to work. Unemployment. Like, bro, you know how, like, I could have been anything. Like, I wanted to go to the Marines. I couldn't do that. I wanted to go to college. I couldn't do that. I wanted to, like, at one point, I wanted to become a forest firefighter. I couldn't do that. I ain't had the papers. I ain't had no social security. Yeah, and it was just me because I was like, I love the wilderness. I love to travel. I like to move from space to space. I like to be all over. Like, I want to go and see places. Like, I was watching all my friends travel, go to Dominican Republic and all of that, and I'll be like, that's cool. But inside, I was like envious because I'm like, damn, bro, I want to travel. All I gotta go to the Seaside Heights. The water looked like Hennessy and Coke. You know what I'm saying? Like, brown. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I couldn't enjoy it. They got pictures of their feet. You can see their feet at the bottom of the ocean. I'm like, bro, like I want to do that. So, right as soon as I got my papers, my birthday hit. My wife gave me a surprise cruise. We did comedy on, and we did our thing. You feel what I'm saying? That was my first. Well, actually, no, that was my second time traveling, right? Because with my job, I had to go to St. Vincent. When I was fixing planes, I was out there for like 2-3 months. So,
Damn.
but after that, COVID hit. I ain't traveling nowhere else.
I hope everybody understands that when you are privileged with your
True.
citizenship and you don't want to do nothing with it, there's people out there who will die for what you have.
True.
I try to stress this a little bit to people sometimes because they're like, why did you do the college thing? Your parents wanted to. Because my parents are immigrants who came here and that's all they wanted me to do was go to college. And even though I kind of didn't want to do it, I did it because it's the one only wish they had for me their whole life. I couldn't do them like that. They did way too much work coming to America.
I don't know how they do it in your country, right? But in Mexico, when once you're done with kindergarten and you go to elementary, you got to pay to go to school. So you, out of your pocket, you have to pay for the kid to go to school, pay them to have his lunch, and pay them to have the clothes they got on their back, plus the books. So elementary school is like college in Mexico.
That's expensive.
So you got to pay. You work and then you pay. You work and you pay. There's places that you could do free schooling, but it's not an elementary school where like, okay, these kids are going to be, because they're going to get taught properly. Trust me, I tell you. When I had a cousin that came here with a visa, mind you, he was in the 7th grade, and this fool doing college work in the 7th grade. So it's like they over there, they force education.
Actually, most foreign countries' education is way ahead. Like, my dad was confused when I was doing algebra in 10th grade. He's like, this is 5th grade work. Like, he was disgusted with me. I didn't write the curriculum. I'm just here, man. You brought me here.
Yeah, so that's
Nobody told you to take me to the South. Slowest part of it. Anyways.
You about to
stop. Nobody told me to bring you here.
Yeah, your whole face on the screen.
Right. It should have kept us in Colorado. But actually I want to ask now about the school thing. So look, straight away. Coming back full circle to you and you as a brand and everything. You also have your clothing brand. Munchies,
boom.
And I went on your website and I saw all your cute daughters. They were modeling your stuff.
Yes.
So are you now incorporating your family more into your skits and your comedy and everything?
My family been a part of it since the beginning. It's just that when I was doing Munchies, Big P, Uncle Chuco, when I was playing all the characters because I didn't have nobody to work with when I was in Atlanta, and people were like I reached out to people and they saw the work, but they didn't want to collaborate because I guess I didn't have the followers that they thought I needed.
Bougie attitudes get you nowhere, guys.
Yeah. And now it was like some of the same people that ain't really answered are now hitting back like, let's work. And I'm not even gonna hold it to them because I understand, because me now being in the space that I'm in, and I don't got that many crazy followers, like 43 or whatever, but I see the people that reach out, they got the lowest followers, like, bro, you the man, you the GOAT. I'm like, bro, I'm just a regular dude.
You feel like you're inspiring them?
I think people say that because of the people you work with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, it's like, but I can tell when somebody's like a fan because they're constantly liking and sharing and liking and sharing and liking and sharing.
Real fan.
And then they're like, hey, she said, drop the bombs.
Real fan.
So when I see somebody doing that and then they talking about they want to work, and I'm giving y'all the sauce, and y'all want to work, and y'all support what I do, like, yo, I'm going to show you love and I work. So I don't care how many followers you got, but if you got a funny idea, I'm down to work all day. I'm down to work. I don't care if you got 4 followers or 150,000 followers. I don't care.
As long funny, you funny.
You're funny, yeah. And especially right now, I'm more moving into the clean factor. Like I'm not cursing.
And is that coming with also like bringing your family into
it? Bringing them back in.
So has there been people that you can no longer really work with because you want to stay away from certain forms of content?
Yeah, of course. If
all right, shout them out. I'm just kidding. You don't
I mean, I wouldn't do that because
we're not that kind of show. No.
But
professional.
It's more like if you're not doing family friendly content, I can't work with you.
Yeah.
I can't work with you. Yes, I do videos with some girls, big booty, and they got these ideas, and then we collaborate. Some people pay for promo. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I do what I do, but I do it in a tasteful manner. Yes, you might see some booties, you might see some boobs. You know what I'm saying? You'll never see them naked on my page. You'll never see me doing anything sexual with any of the females on my page because that's not what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? I will if the female like, oh, I want to twerk in your video. I'm like, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do.
That's your prerogative.
That's your business. If I feel like it's not appropriate, I'm not going to post it.
They
like,
post it,
yeah, y'all want to do it? Go ahead and do it. If it looks offensive, I'm gonna be like, yo, you can't put it up either. But I already go in and I let people know, like, yo, this is how I want to shoot it. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people work with me, some people won't. It is what it is. Like, I'm gonna still get to where I need to get to because I've been through so much, bro. Jail, deportation. I've been in this country for 38 years illegally, and I chased my dream, risking my life every night. I drove without a license, like traveled from state to state because I believed in myself to the point where like I was willing to give up everything to achieve my dreams. And I'm still fighting. I'm just getting started. Because I'm really 3-4 years old because I just got my paperwork. I'm just now like a baby. Exactly. When it comes to everybody having their papers, like I'm 4 years old.
You're 4 American years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. You're a baby in America years.
What?
Mm-hmm. It happens.
No, go ahead.
No, that's it. I just thought about it. You're a baby in America years.
Yeah. So it's basically, yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Well, I'm super proud of you. Munchies is my friend, and I met you from another mutual friend. Mm-hmm. Shout out to V.
V Moore.
Actually, he helped me bring out my personality because I'm fucking awesome.
Yes.
But I don't really show it. I was so used to modeling and then being funny behind the camera.
Bruh.
So it was crazy. When Munchies first met me, I wouldn't talk because I was so nervous. Trash. I couldn't even say anything.
You wasn't trash. It's just the fact that I
couldn't talk. I was so nervous. I was like the line mango. I think it was just like, here it is. And I would just be like, and I would just pose because that's what I knew. And then now I'm coming up with stuff on my own. So Munchie's definitely inspiration.
Yeah. And that's one thing I want to work with people like a lot of people like to have the limelight. And that's cool. But I want to have the limelight with the people I work with. It ain't just me. It's like there's Munchies and there's Mango's a toxic friend of the toxic girlfriend, which she's not really toxic, but she's just crazy.
It's misunderstood.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Misunderstood. And Mango is a toxic guy, like, let him go. So, and it's crazy because when I wanted to work with them, I was going to pay to work with them, to work with Mango.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I just come.
No. This is before I even met y'all. This is before I even met y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna buy you a water, a big one. Like, I was trying to get in touch with them, and it's crazy how life works. Because it's crazy how it works. Because when I seen them, I was like, oh snap, they from Atlanta. I'm Latino. Like, I would love to work with some Latino women because I thought Mango was Mexican because she was tatted up and she got the Cali vibes. I was like, she looked Mexican, homegirl over here. So they was like, oh yeah, nah, they don't post nothing on their page. You got to pay them this. I was like, why would I pay somebody they're not going to post it? That's the whole point of work. So I was like, A year later.
Must be someone I posted a song for.
Yeah, it had to be. Yeah,
somebody. Like, so you paid for promotion.
So it's like my wife. We went to this Christmas thing. They booked me for. They was like, yo, come be Munchie Claus. So I had the Munchies with the Santa Claus all the way down. And I saw Via Moore, and I was like, oh, she's Latina. But I'm like, I ain't really gonna push up because I know there's a lot of women were like, Like I like, yo, let's film. And I'm like, I'm this dude over here with the grill in the mouth, and I'm got the Munchie Claus, and they're like, this dude probably trying to smash or whatever. So So I was like, I told the wife, I ain't gonna push up. I'll just let my homie. And this is Alo. Alo invited me to this event. Got me booked to this event as well. Shout out to Alo, the radio guy. And the wife was like, "Oh, let me go talk to him." She talked to V. She's like, "Yeah, I'm down to take some pictures." We took some pictures. She's like, "No. Get together closer. Y'all look uncomfortable." I was like, "Yo, hold up." She like, "Hold up. What y'all freaky stuff y'all got going on?" You know what I'm saying? So we ended up taking the picture. And I was like, "You down to shoot some skits?" She was like, "Yeah." And then I didn't know she was the girl that I was trying to book to hire. I say, so I was like, "Oh, that was you."
Look how that came.
That's what I'm saying. So I was like, "Oh, that was you." Oh yeah, I did that video. I was like, "Oh snap!" So then I went right back into business mode because my mind said was, "I'm gonna film with you once and I'm gonna keep it stepping." Because I never felt like, because I've been around so many friends. When I left, I was no longer a friend because like once you out of sight, out of mind, and people don't connect with you, and these are the homies you grew up with, now you know where you stand. Oh, you not here? We ain't worried about you.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna work. I never try to build a team. I was just like, let me just connect with people to work and say I work with them and keep it moving as a network. And then the relationship evolved with V.
The team built itself.
Exactly. And then she was like, "Oh, I got a friend that she does this and da. When I looked at the like, man, that's the girl I was trying to hire too. I was like, "Oh, look at this."
Me.
And then that's when I said, "How much you charge?" She's like, "No, I'm down to shoot. I want to shoot." I was like, "Let's get it." And then here we are today.
I'd never done it, so I was like, man, I've never done skits. All I knew is I wanted to be something, and I wanted to be on TV, and I just know my face out there and my personality. My whole goal was to let people know I actually have a personality and humor.
But see, and the people that know Mango personally, she is hilarious. If you know her personally, when that camera come on, it ain't the same. But it's getting there. Because it's like I said, you have a lot on your plate. You work, you do, you move. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when we connect, I see her growing rapidly though compared to other people that I've worked with that have been doing it and they still doing the same thing. But Mango is the one that she's grown. Via Moore has grown to the point of like she's getting great at what she's doing and she got a lot more to go. And trust when I tell you, this game is not for the weak. This is not, don't think it's all cookies and cream because you got to understand when I was filming my different character skits, that take 2 hours, 2-3 hours to change the camera. Remember that there is no continuity. Oh, you had this, that, and my wife and my kids, mind you, I get up at 5 a.m, go to be at work by 6:30, get home around 7, take care of the wife, and if I could help, by the time I got in and she didn't finish, I would help, and then we would film till like 3 a.m. and go back to work and keep doing it, and we was doing that on a daily.
Never stop working.
So, you know what I'm saying? So you have to sacrifice a lot.
I think people don't realize, and this is when I got serious too, is you actually sacrifice your social life to have this life. And then your coworkers become your friends. You become family after that. Mm-hmm. And they become your life. Every day I wake up and I'm like, I'm waiting for like 10 phone calls, either from my producer Sonny or like to shoot skits or from Munchies to anybody, because I know something's happening every single day. Mm-hmm. But I love it. I would not trade it for anything in this world. Yeah, but it's the best feeling ever.
And it's hard because if you have a job,
quit now.
You quit with a safety net. I wouldn't say quit with a safety net, but
I'm reckless.
Do this every day like it's your last day on earth. Do this every day like it's your last day on earth. And you're going to get what you want. You're going to get everything that you want. But be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. And you're going to get far.
Yes.
Trust me. Strong. I've been there. And I come from a way worse environment.
Yikes. Well, with everything we've covered today, I really appreciate you coming out and speaking. You dropping so many gems, knowledge, facts. I hope everybody was soaking it up. I hope everyone goes back and listens. One last piece of advice for those who are up-and-coming comedians, and what would you tell them? Maybe something you wish someone told your younger self, or you would tell your younger self.
Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself like you believe in the people you look up to.
Nice. Well, Mr. Munchies, tell everybody where they can find you. If you got any shows coming up next, please let us know.
I'm about to be hosting some shows with Jordan Jackson. We're about to do some comedy tours with him. Going from different states. You can follow me on Instagram at Munchies El Jefe. It's MUNCHIESELJEFE. You can go to Facebook, follow me on The Life of Pablo at Big PTV, YouTube at Big PTV, and TikTok Munchies .02. Um, um, yeah, that's it. That's basically it. So you can follow me at, and for any upcoming comedy shows, you'll see it on Instagram or Facebook.